Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today today I should have washed my hair. What the hell is happening? Anyway, today we are going to have a little chat about the Hammerfall Bunker and the Convergence of Dominion, because this video was going to take a very different slant. It was going to be a lot more complainy, ranty, even unfairly. I think it's honest to say. See, I saw the leaks for the Hammerfall Bunker, which is yet another Space Marine unit, and that was mainly what I thought. I had that immediate moment of, okay, so more Space Marine stuff. I mean, I feel like they've probably got enough. I feel like they've got a decent number of units in the roster. I mean, if you go to the Games Workshop site and you have a look at what they have compared to everyone else, they've only got like near double the nearest other army in terms of variety, in terms of selection and different models. But yeah, they definitely need more. They definitely need more. They're getting a whole bunch of stuff with Indomitus and more stuff beyond it. But yeah, they certainly 100% could do with even more stuff. Oh wait, no, that's not true. But that was perhaps a little hasty. I was going to say maybe a little bit unfair. I don't think it's unfair because it's happened before where we've been like, oh hey, we could really do with more stuff for literally anybody else, and then not got that and instead got Space Marine stuff. But in this instance, I don't know, it's not quite as bad as it first seemed. See, we are getting the Hammerfall Bunker, which very much looks like deployable terrain. In fact, we will let the Warhammer community article spell it out for us. If I could learn to speak, that would be really helpful. So here it is. This gorgeous chunk... Wow, really? This gorgeous chunk of weaponized death is a Hammerfall Bunker. There's a strong clue in the name as to its purpose. Yep, when the Adeptus Astartes need a fortified emplacement in a hurry, these are dropped in from orbit to provide a beachhead or secure a landing zone. And it looks like that. If you're thinking to yourself, that very much looks like the bunker from StarCraft 2, the Terran bunker, had an incredible, romantic and deeply sensual evening with a missile turret, and also got some leg from a siege tank on the way out, then you'd be correct to think that, because that's exactly what it looks like to me. Anyway, StarCraft 2 is a very good game. Yeah, it just looks like that. I mean, I like it, but I like it because it's just reminding me of StarCraft 2, not necessarily because I actually like the model itself. I mean, I guess it's okay. It's a deployable bunker. I'm assuming it slams down in drop pod-esque fashion, and maybe does it like go into the ground and is then stabilised by the legs, perhaps? Or is it just flat on the bottom and you just have to hope that whatever it lands on is also flat? That seems unlikely and a terrible design. It's probably not that. Anyway, so that's it. That is the Hammerfall. And as they say, not only does it look incredible, but it's tougher than Grok's hide boots and armed to the teeth. Those side guns can be either heavy bolters or heavy flamers, and the main weapon is a Hammerfall missile launcher. And in a move that will delight old school fans, it comes armed with Superfrag and Supercrack missiles. I think I used to listen to Superfrag. So, the Superfrag is 72-inch range, heavy 2d6, strength 6, AP 0, damage 1, and blast. And the Supercrack is 72 inches, heavy 2, strength 10, AP -2, and D6 damage. I have to admit that whilst I am not as, what's the word? Pissy, I think is probably the word, about this as I was initially, I still feel like a deployable bunker would perhaps be maybe not better suited, but I can think of an army that I think this would suit really, really well, and it's not Space Marines is the thing. That's the problem. It's an army of unaugmented humans that have essentially little to no armor, just like vest, like just standard crappy armor. Las guns, supported by tanks and artillery and heavy weapon squads. An army that kind of very much exemplifies the whole grinding advance and trench warfare of the world wars, that sort of thing, where things like pillboxes and bunkers would be pretty cool. That would be the Imperial Guard, as I'm sure you know, and that would fit this way better than Space Marines, in my opinion. But then again, maybe that's just wishful thinking, given that Space Marines have had I don't know how many releases in the last 8 months, and Imperial Guard have had 3 Catachan HQ options in the last... thinking about it, Aeon, I don't know. It's been a time. Let's be honest. They've also had all of their non-Cadian stuff wiped out, apart from Catachan, which is also garbage. But that is a video for another day. In fact, I think we've already made that video. It's fine. I was irritated because it was like, okay, yes, Necrons are getting loads of new stuff. It would feel weird if Space Marines didn't get anything, because it's the perfect point to introduce new things, obviously. A new box, you'd expect to see new Space Marines in it. But did we really need this too? Did we really need it? Do we need it, though? And the answer was no. But it is somewhat, and very... Actually, no, that's not fair. Very much offset by the fact that it's a symmetry thing. It is a mirror situation, whereby it's not a case of Space Marines just getting stuff, and then the other focal point of this narrative getting nothing. The Necrons are also getting something to go along with it. And essentially, this is just becoming a thing that I'm sure we will see for everyone at some point. It's just faction terrain with a twist. I mean, we've already got like the Orc workshop thing. I forget the name of it. Got the Webway Gate for the Eldar. We've got the big... we've got the Stargate for Chaos. These feel a little bit different. I mean, the Hammerfall is very much an offensive thing. It's covered in guns, as is everything else Primaris. And the Convergence of Dominion, which is a great name. Whoever came up with that name, I would like to buy you a drink at Bugman's, is kind of a little bit different again. So it's a rough sort of equivalent, I guess, in terms of it being faction terrain, but it's a little bit funky. So the Convergence of Dominion, for a start, looks like that, which looks great. I have to admit, I much prefer the intact version. Intact is being generous. Looking at it, yeah, I can't really call that intact. It's still got chunks blown out of it. I prefer the bit with more chunks attached. What even is that as a sentence? But overall, it's a really cool looking bit of scenery. But it's not just scenery, because this too can move. Now, I don't know how often it's going to be able to move, but it's a similar kind of theme, but with a slightly different approach, which I really like. So, each Convergence of Dominion, such a good name, consists of 3 star steel. I'm assuming it's just star steel. That makes the most sense. They're the big obelisk type things, I had guessed, which are seriously durable and armed with impressively deadly trans-dimensional abductors. Gonna have to talk about that in a sec, aren't we? Even better, they bolster units from your dynasty that are nearby, and with the help of a friendly cryptech, can perform translocation protocols to redeploy across the battlefield. And then they say, yeah, these are great. Now, that is an interesting distinction for me. When it comes to the Hammerfall, they're dropped in from orbit to provide a beachhead or secure a landing zone. Now, I'm assuming that once they are down on the ground, they are not just going to get up on those legs of theirs and waddle around like a tortoise. I'm guessing once they're down, and they're not going to be crawling along the floor trying desperately to reach the new point where a beachhead would be really handy. If they can get up and walk, that's bullshit, and it shouldn't be allowed. If they can just fly up and then move, also nonsense. That is something that once it's down, it should be down. However, these Necron ones are funky. They're cool. They can move across the battlefield. As they say, bolster units, so I'm assuming they will give some sort of buff. What type of buff? Dunno, because it doesn't say. But clearly there is a buffing element to these. But it's the trans-dimensional abductors that excite me, because that is a weapon I can get on board with. It's not a Gorse Flayer. It's not going to render you down to your particulars. That's not that. What am I even talking about today? It just sounds like they steal you away. That's what it sounds like. It just sounds like you get within range, they shoot you, and then you are gone from the planet. You are away. You are vanished. You are not there anymore. Who knows where you are? Does it teleport you into a black hole directly into the Eye of Terror? That'd be funny. Does it just dump you in the middle of the ocean 400 miles away? No idea. In fact, I would suggest that there's a good chance that they don't know where it puts you. It just puts you somewhere, half in a wall, like when you have like a horrible deep strike mishap. When you go into the teleportation chamber, it's supposed to dump you in someone's corridor outside the bridge, or even in the bridge of the enemy ship, and you end up fused into the floor. Could even do that. Dunno, but it's a fucking cool concept, and it makes, by association, the Hammerfall less irritating. I was really annoyed. I was genuinely like, we get it. You like Space Marines. We know. There's hundreds of them. Do we really need the extra thing? But it's clearly just the start of a new trend. I mean, I'm assuming that this is what we will see going forward, that these things will be more interactive, they'll be more interesting, they'll have unique different flavours, all that sort of thing. I really like this. The Hammerfall still just looks like something out of StarCraft 2, which, I mean, I like StarCraft 2, but it's going to take a while to get that association out of my head when I look at it. But the Convergence of Dominion, it's super weird, it's alien as anything, it's properly Necron in terms of how impenetrably odd it is. I can't help but like it. Overall, I'm not bothered about the Hammerfall. I think with the fact that there is something opposite it, it is way more acceptable than when it seemed like it was a standalone thing, and anything that adds just more interesting and fun things to the tabletop, I'm not going to complain about. And a trans-dimensional abductor and scenery that can teleport around, that sounds fun and interesting to me. So at the very least, the Convergence of Dominion grants, by its presence, the Hammerfall a pass. Because I want one, and I'm not too bothered about the other. So yeah, anyway, interesting stuff. It'd be interesting to see what more we see. I mean, we do have things like the Stargate and the Webway, and we've got the scenery for the Orc vehicles. Be interested to see what else shows up as we start to get new things, whether it's going to become more interactive and more, I don't know, just more interesting as a whole. Anyway, let me know what you think of the Hammerfall and the Convergence of Dominion in the comments down below. You excited? You liking it? Which version of the Convergence of Dominion do you like the most? Do you want the one that's like not quite as wrecked, that's middling wrecked, or the one that looks like it's about to, get exploded? I'm still angling towards the one that's mostly intact. I like that the most. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. Click it if you like, don't click if you don't want to. As always, there's an affiliate link in the description for Element Games, which you can use to support the channel if you would like. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.